People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Now, yeah, if you care about Arsenal's young players, Tyreece Jules is obviously on loan at Lincoln City in League 2. He made his second appearance for them against Blackpool, and he obviously got a Man of the Match award. He was Man of the Match in the game. He had a fantastic display. He obviously scored, and no disrespect to Lincoln City, I'm pretty sure when he was growing up, he was not imagining his first goal to be for Lincoln or in them situations, but it's his first career goal. It's his first somewhat milestone in the senior game. It's just a good moment for the young man who put in a good performance and who has joined the new club on a temporary basis. Good for his family, because for me personally, I like little moments like this, because it's Tyreece Jules is a professional footballer playing for Arsenal right now, but that could all be taken in a second. Obviously, his family, I assume they're not rich. They're, potentially middle class and whatnot. They've had to find a way to make sure he's been at Arsenal training 3 to 4 times a week. That is no easy sacrifice. That demands a lot on everyone, and situations like that make it all worth it somewhat. Seeing him flourish and doing what he's able to do, because as everybody knows, it's difficult to be a professional footballer. It's full of a lot of highs and lows, and there'll be more highs and lows in his career, of course. But it's lovely that he's had a high in this game against Blackpool, dealt with them. And this is why not just him, but many people need to go out there and play league football, because he's playing against grown men. He's 18. The Blackpool centre-halves, while I don't know everything about them, quickly browsing at their page, one is 26 and one is 28. That's 10 years or so on Tyreece. So in terms of thinking different and things you might not be able to do in youth football to first team, he's going to have to change it up, and I think he relished it. I think his back will probably be a bit sore, and he'll be a bit sore in other departments, because what he's probably realising is where there's a lack of general technical ability, people make up in fight, and he done a lot, man. I think he had a good performance. He was spot on in all the duels in the air. He was winning a lot of flick-ons, winning a lot of free kicks, dropping deep, doing things for the team, relieving pressure off the team, just doing that workman stuff. So that's why I think he had a good performance. His goal was just the icing on top of the cake. I think he had a real good performance, and what I liked about him, he didn't cower. When I'm talking about in a healthy sense, people are leaving a bit on him, he's doing the same back, and that's what he's got to do. He's a physical specimen. He's a wonderful player technically with a ball at his feet, but he's physically great, and for all the technical ability, it's about adapting, and that's probably what a big point as to why Michael Appleton likes him. He's wonderfully got the wonderful balance of the physical capabilities and the technical about play. But like he's probably seen in environments like this, a lot of it's going to be in the air, a lot of it's going to be 50-50s and flick-ons and chasing shadows and running into the channels and doing things like that doesn't necessarily get rewarded at all times, and people don't necessarily see. So I feel his all-round general play was there today. In terms of his goal, when he struck in the second half in the 60-odd minute, it actually came from poor playing out of the back from Blackpool. They messed up. His teammate played it into him, and you know what Tyreece is on. He's a cold-hearted killer in front of goal, and you give him enough opportunities, he's going to score. And I think, ironically, for a striker, there weren't really much opportunities for him to, well, not today, but in that game. It weren't one of them sort of games. And one thing I like about him is maybe because he's been playing for Arsenal and things, I don't think he realises just how tall he is, how strong he is, people. Like, it is quite scary, because if it clicks for him that, let me start, being a bit more of a bully, he can be something, and it's something even better than what I believe he can be already. And again, he's 18. I don't think he's in the gym punching weights and doing all that mad stuff, but at 18, imagine where he's going to be in a couple of years. He's not even finished technically growing and all them things. Listen, he's a scary prospect, man. He's scary to play against, and I was really encouraged by him scoring and how he played, because he worked hard. He put himself on the line for the team. It really was a good performance. Obviously, as he develops as a professional footballer, dropping what he does as well, he drops deep and things a lot of the time. that necessarily might not get you goals. So on one hand, you've got to find the balance between being a good player and, you know, strikers scoring goals pays your bills sort of thing. But I really liked what I saw from him, and he seems to be gelling well in that team. For what I like as well, obviously he's played up front at Arsenal by himself, but he's played with Eddie, he's played with Balogun, he's played in the 10, and he linked up well in that 4-4-2 formation with his striker. He was somewhat, I'd say, the selfless striker, the guy that was dropping deep to let others flourish, and I was really impressed. There was even couple moments he's defending in his own goal. He's clearing shots from out of danger and whatnot. He put in a good performance, and from what I've seen in his 2 appearances for Lincoln, he's had some good performances, and he'll probably be a local legend by the time he ends that tenure on loan there. For what I can hope of this season, listen, it's just about developing, but I see no reason why he can't get into double figures in terms of goals, if not that, a healthy return. Main thing for me is just I like to see the confidence. First and foremost, he's playing men's football. I like to see the confidence he's playing with, and Lincoln fans are taking to him very well, people. Again, I don't even think he'll be able to move around Lincoln and go McDonald's or Nando's and all them sort of things soon. They'll be treating him like Messi in that soon if he continues, because he's obviously in footballing terms, he's a player you can't not fall in love with. He is a good player. Obviously, he's got a long way to go. Not even a criticism, but I felt he could have been. He's got to be a bit more sharper in his technique as he's playing in the senior game and whatnot, and at times not always be on the peripheral things. But he gave himself a very good account, people. And Arsenal fans, we couldn't be proud of the young 18-year-old lad, people. And again, I've said it before, it takes great courage, because he could have stayed at Arsenal. You know, Eddie's there as well. I'm not saying nothing wrong with Eddie, because Eddie showed courage to go out on loan. But he wanted to go and play football to really assess what he needs to develop and how good he thinks he is and what he actually is. He could have stayed at Arsenal, training with Arteta, occasional bench and whatnot, like you saw. But minutes are currency, and what we just want to see from this lad is he comes back and he has more confidence and he develops as a player. It'll be interesting to see his situation in the summer, because does he stay on Arsenal or does he go on loan again and repeat? Personally, I think it will be. I hope he gets chances in the first team, but he won't be playing 23s football if the relevant powers that be have something to say. Because for me, certain players, when you get a love for, when you start playing men's football and you get that drug, you can't go back to playing 23s. He's been bullying up these players in 23s, and it's now time to start bullying these grown men. And listen, like I said, he's given himself a good account of himself in these 2 games from Lincoln. So yeah, we just hope it continues. He's got some good players at Lincoln with him. There's a couple young players. He's got a manager that believes in him. It's all set up for him to do well. And he seems, one thing as well is mentally, you can have all the technical ability and all these things in the world. He takes things on his stride. You can tell he's not fazed by things, people. And that's one thing. You can have all the technical, all the physical. If you're mentally not able to cope with things, you're not resilient, you have no chance. And he strikes me as someone very cold and decisive in a positive way. And that's going to help him. And I could sit here singing his praises well. He pressed well, he chased lost causes well, he worked the channels well, he dropped deep and defended well, he got his goal, he linked up well. A solid performance, people. We could sit here rambling all day about what he did, people, but like I said, man, I'm happy to see him get his first goal for his club. Tyreece, Jules FC, we're live in the place now, really and truly in the senior game. Still hoping he can come and do that for Arsenal, because I think he's going to have a good career, whether it's Arsenal or elsewhere. But it is what it is in that regards. In relation to other news, young Charlie Patino obviously scored. How can he score? He obviously trained with the first team. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be playing and stuff. That's clearly maybe the first team was lacking numbers and the players needed to be recommended to keep up the session. But nonetheless, that's a good look. Him, I believe, Alex Kirk and a couple of other players. It shows that it can be done and you will get a chance. Obviously, for me, people need to still remember he's a schoolboy and he's playing quite frequently for Arsenal's under 18s and England's under 17s. So the progress is there and it's a good reward. He's a very decent player technically, and listen, it's down to him to work hard. I never like to put potential on players and things because I think fans need to rein it in. But there's no reason why he can't be a contender for Arsenal's first team in a couple of years, people, because he's got the mentality, he's got the vision. He's a very much an Arsenal Arsenal midfielder. It's just about, you know, moulding things and doing things in a different way and just improving. But it's lovely to see from our academy, man. You've got Eddie staying at the club right now. You've got Balogun scoring against Leicester's 23s a half volley. Tyreece going from strength to strength at Lincoln. We've got players dotted. Patino, who's not even a full-time scholar, doing his thing. We've got good players, man. We've got our young under-16s out in Germany at the moment. It's good times to be an Arsenal fan just in terms of potential. Potential is just potential, but it is what it is. And I'm proud of all these young players in general, man. So again, congratulations to Tyreece, Jules. And I've probably had one too many, but if you haven't, raise a couple of glasses or two to the guy. But on that note, people, Deluded. I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking.